Hey guys, this is our final project visual presentation for Theater 3040 at UNT. Just a quick overview, our project was over um, producing postmodern theater specifically related to the Wooster Group and Malibu Mines and their contributions to theater as a whole. So first we're going to start with what postmodernism is. Specifically relating to postmodern theater, of course, because this is a theater course. So what is postmodernism in the arts? Short answer, no one really knows. Done a lot of research over this in the last few weeks, and the answer pretty much changes with every person who's answering it. Give you a second to read this cute little comic. So basically, this is Calvin and Hobbes, obviously. But it does sum up postmodernism kind of in this last square. It says, when in doubt, deny all terms and definitions. Postmodernism goes against anything that relates to concrete answers. So here's the long answer. Postmodernism is hard to define, but it can be observed. So some key points in postmodernism. Truth is relative. They don't believe anything is certain. It challenges the status quo. So when postmodernism came about, previously science was fact, science was truth. There were exact answers to everything. They were looking for scientific answers and everything. That time period was just called the modern time period, modernism. So we're in postmodernism. Nothing is truth. Truth changes for every person. Nothing is certain. There is no fact. Um, there is no reality. Reality is different from person to person, and it's subject to change from second to second. Um, so the reason I have two paintings here is to show you the difference between modernism and postmodern. I know this is a theater class, but I thought that it's a lot easier to take in kind of a visual representation than it is to just say, all right, everyone, pause this presentation and go watch two plays, come back, and then start this over. So art is a really good way to see a visual representation of what's going on in theater. So the modern age, we're going to look at, like I said, scientific, exact proportions, things like that. This painting, as you can tell, is realistic. Their shadows are in the right places. The people look like actual people. The typewriter has all the number of keys it should have. The light is cast in the right places. This is called The Opposite Night by Edward Hopper. Give you a minute to take this one in. And then we're going to hop on over here to some postmodern art. This is a Pablo Picasso painting. And it's crazy. It's chaotic. Postmodernism has been described as avant-garde. It's been described as chaotic, hard to tie down. Dramatic, and all of those things are kind of going on in this painting. While we can all hopefully agree that this is an incredible piece of art, I actually saw this myself in a museum once and it blew my mind just because of its size. But it's chaotic. There's a lot going on here. It can be hard to understand. Every time you look at it, it has something else going on. Every angle is different. Just take this one in. So that's just a visual representation of postmodernism and modernism to show how, commercial plays would be different than these experimental plays that we're going to be getting into. So our first group is the Wooster Group. Both of these are located in New York City. The Wooster Group was founded in 1975. However, they did not take on the name Wooster Group until about 1980. And that has been kind of retroactively put on all of their plays since 1975, even though they did not take the name. It's currently under the direction of Elizabeth Lecomte. She was co-founded this play house with her longtime partner, William Dafoe. He's well known, he's a very well known actor. You'll actually see him in the next picture that we play. Um, this play is actually well known for um, producing many actors that are very well known today. It's characterized by its extremely experimental style. It's a not for profit. They rely on grants and donations to stay in business, but they seem like they're doing pretty well. They have a playhouse that is permanent. They've actually been in it since 1975. They call it the Performance Garage. It's at 33 Wooster Drive in Soho, New York. We'll just take a look at some of the idea. You can probably already see there's a lot going on here. William Dafoe is there in the background. Many of you will recognize him from lots of movies that he's been in. The one thing that sets this group apart from Malibu Minds is they are actually most known for doing remakes of classical plays. So Shakespeare, Brecht, all of those. They actually just take them and experiment with them, as you can probably tell by the craziness that's going on right here. They change them. Like we said before, in postmodernism, nothing is certain. Nothing is has definitions. So they have taken things that came from a time period where everything had certainty, everything was scientific, and they've changed it. That's no longer the case for these groups. They're seeing what happens when gender roles are switched, when races are switched, when costumes are way out of character for what they might have been when these plays were originally written. Moving on, we're going to take a look at Malibu Mines. This group, also in New York City, established in 1970. Something that sets them apart from Wooster Group is they're actually founded by a collective of artists. And it remains a collaboration of minds. So there's not one single director, there's not a single founder. It constantly makes up about 8 to 16 people who all get to kind of have a say in things they all direct. They do also consider themselves an experimental theater, as you can see again by the pictures here. Another thing that sets them apart is they don't currently own a playhouse. It seems that they're struggling pretty heavily right now in the this time period. They're having some financial issues, and even though they've been awarded grants, it's been it seems a struggle to stay afloat. So I believe they're in a schoolhouse right now, and that has changed. They've been called migrant workers. They go wherever the theater goes, and they change as the theater changes, and so that's really why they see themselves as like a fluid type of theater. All members serve in different roles. They're actors, costume designers, directors, producers. They change up with every play that they produce. And another thing that's different from Wooster Group is they actually do original works and remakes of other plays. So they take time to incorporate both. You might remember this one, a picture from the doll's house, or a doll's house, excuse me. This is the one where they had some puppets and some opera singing, and it was a little different than the Jane Fonda version that we all watched together. We'll just look at a couple of other slides here. These are from some popular plays that they've put on. This one right here specifically is a Malibu Mines version of Peter Pan, if you would believe. And that's what we've got. Both of these groups have contributed and are continuing to contribute to postmodernism and postmodern theater, and they're very well known. And they are cranking out original works and revamping classics. So I hope you enjoyed our presentation, and I hope you enjoy your summer.